morning, everybody. Hopefully you're doing absolutely fantastic today. It's a beautiful Monday morning. We're going to do what we always do on Monday morning. We are going to crack some cryptocurrency, guys. Here we go. Bitcoin continues to trade below the baseline as the overall market continues to correct. Altcoins thrust up only to be dragged back down by the might of Bitcoin. Is it the beginning of alt season, or are these just exit pumps before the inevitable collapse? Are you scared of quantum computing? Are you worried that Craig Wright might actually be Satoshi Nakamoto? There's no need to fear. Calm down. We'll break it all down in today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Welcome to Breaking Bitcoin, recorded live Monday, July 1st, 2019, your daily source for market updates, sentiment, and news for professional traders. Of course, I'm Justin Wise, your host for today's show, lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic, and whether you're watching us from across YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, or on the Roku channel, the Investor News channel. If you guys want to support the show, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, and engage in the live chat. All right, we've got a fantastic show for you guys today, but before we begin, today's episode of Breaking Bitcoin is brought to you by us. If you are a new trader or an experienced trader looking for a supportive community or for a community that can help you sharpen your skills, the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group can help you maximize your potential. Our education focuses on technical strategy, risk management, applied money discipline skills, psychology, lifestyle coaching, as well as capital preservation and growth. We have our coursework in both audio and video format. We also have an exclusive community where you can engage with like-minded traders who can help you bolster your skills. However you feel about trading and whatever your skill level is, we are here to help you. You can get signed up today at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. And as I said, we've got a fantastic show for you guys today. We're going to talk about quantum computing. We're going to do a little bit of a primer on quantum computing and if it is a real threat to digital cryptography, i.e. blockchain technology, i.e. Bitcoin, the future of money, the future of the world reserve money. We're also going to talk about Craig Wright. Sorry, sometimes it's just typos, you know what I mean? Sometimes in my mind. Okay, premium trading group updates, man. A few premium trading group updates. We're going to do tonight's weekly VIP Ask Me Anything session tonight at 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I already have the questions compiled. We're going to do the live session. We're going to answer questions. We're going to do any live charting examples, any live trading examples that we need to do. And overall, we do have the finalized results for, let's see if the public-facing page has updated. We do have the end of month results for June of 2019. And the results are quite good. Again, another fantastic month in the premium trading group. So actually, I've got that pulled up over here. It did update over the night. The public-facing page is only updated every 8 hours, whereas the live public-facing page, which is available to all premium subscribers, is updated every 5 minutes. So before we get into today's show, I want to thank our current Discord Nitro boosters. If you guys would like to support our Discord server. And if you guys support the show, you guys, if you have Discord Nitro, can boost our server. It makes the entire server better for everybody. And I want to give a big shout out to our recent Nitro booster, Pluv. Thank you so much, my good friend. And thank you for signing up with the group, man. I'm looking forward to trading with you, and I'm looking forward to answering any of your questions. Yesterday's crypto comment giveaway winner was Tiago Antonio. I just sent you some crypto this morning, man. I saw your message when I woke up. So congratulations to you, good sir. And thank you so much for your participation. And a fantastic question you asked too. So Tiago's comment yesterday was, does it make sense while scanning for markets to look into both the USD value of the coin and the BTC value of the coin? And can I explain why? So if you guys go look at yesterday's video, it was a fantastic video yesterday. You guys can see the timestamp. I believe the description and the timestamp is, should you evaluate the USD and the BTC value when selecting a coin to trade? It's about a 10-minute conversation of the nuances of trading the markets of trading altcoins to the USD to the BTC pairing. So I highly recommend you guys go check that out. If you missed it yesterday, I think I also tweeted it out on Twitter. Also, another brief trading update. As you guys know, I started trading Forex again on Wednesday. Now I've gotten some, actually I haven't gotten a lot of hate. I was kind of expecting it to, because as a well-capitalized trader, as somebody who used to trade Forex professionally and who currently trades cryptocurrency professionally, a lot of people are like, why don't you just swing in with like $25,000, which is probably akin to something that we would do. However, Paul, what's going on? Good to see you this morning. However, the entire point is you respect your money regardless of its USD value. So I've been back testing my PTP strats in Forex markets for the last 8 months, in addition to everything else that I'm doing. And I've begun my first small capital account. I will run this for a month. I will increase the capital after the end of the month. And then I will run the medium-sized capital account for another month. And then when all that is done, I will deposit a regular amount of capital that I am comfortable trading with, and I will proceed as follows, because we are going to be incorporating officially into the premium trading group Forex trading, education, mentoring, signals, and setups in Q3 of this year. So I created my first small capital FX account on my broker of choice, Awanda. Awanda, I think, is the best Forex broker if you are an American who doesn't have access to other things. Again, Awanda does not allow you to trade precious metals currently. They obviously don't allow you to trade CFDs if you are an American. I am looking into other legal ways to solve that issue. But for most Americans who just want to trade Forex, Awanda is going to be absolutely fantastic to you. Their customer service is amazing. They give you a call as soon as you sign up. It's a really good exchange. So I started off with $100, and as of this morning, that is $105. I tweeted out last night it was $104. It's actually $105 now. i.e., my entire account, my net asset value, my NAV, has grown 5% in less than a week. And the reason why is because I treat that account with the same respect, even though it's $100, that I would treat an account if it was $10,000. And this is the same advice that I give to everybody else, regardless of the amount of capital that they have in the cryptocurrency markets. This is something that I've gone back and forth with. And this is individuals who don't have a lot of capital. They think that trading crypto is a get-rich-quick scheme. They think that they're going to buy the right coin, it's going to 100x, and they're going to turn $1,000 into $100,000. And the statistical odds of that happening to you is so small that it is ludicrous, and this is why the majority of individuals lose money in the markets, because you don't treat the markets with respect. You treat the markets as a get-rich-quick scheme, and they recognize that, and they punish you for that. However, traders like myself, everybody in the group who has learned discipline, who has learned strategy, approaches the market with respect, approaches their capital with respect, trades accordingly based off a long series of statistics, looks at statistical analysis, looks at technical analysis, and understands how to apply that to the markets. And as a result, we get rewarded for our hard work, patience, and effort. You grow your capital slowly. You don't become rich overnight. People who become rich overnight end up blowing their money out and end up not having very successful, satisfying lives, whereas those who strive diligently and patiently and put a lot of effort into acquiring wealth deserve it and enjoy their life. This entire socialist leftist idea that rich people are unhappy is nonsense, right? People who get rich quick and are arrogant and impatient and not disciplined, yes, their lives generally suck, but their lives would suck if they were poor. People who have applied a lot of effort, work, time, and patience into accumulating wealth are often quite happy and satisfied, because not only are they competent and confident, but they also have the rewards to show that, i.e. the lives of their family are generally better, their own personal life is better. All money is a direct reflection from the marketplace that we all engage in, whether you like it or not. It's a direct reflection from the marketplace of how competent you are with money management. Are you talking about the Ripple community? Oh, shade thrown at the Ripple community. Shade thrown. All right. So anyways, we've got a great show. So let's get into the show today. Make sure you guys go check that out yesterday if you missed it. And I think that's probably a good timestamp for today, talking about if you are a losing trader. This is another reason why. Also, another tweet that I tweeted out. So you guys can follow my Forex trading on Twitter if you want, over there at tw.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's tw.crackingcryptocurrency.com, or you can just search first on Twitter at cracking_crypto. So let's get into the show, and we're going to start off today's episode as we always do. For some reason, that button didn't work. There we go. By tipping some crypto. So yesterday's winner was Tiago Antonio. So I'm going to go grab yesterday's Earl. How you guys doing in the chat, man? Let me know. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. Looks good. And I feel like I missed something. GBU Wally, man, coming strong with the $2, my brother. Much love to you, my good friend. Hopefully you are crushing it over there at Gunbot University. Shout out to you and all that you do. Thank you so much for the $2, my good friend. Thank you so much for the support. Also want to give a shout out. Got a lot of subs over last night. So Nathan Rada, Daniel Ayala, Trevor Dull, Roberto Carlos, Tanner Roser, Vision 666, X Raxmix, I think. Sorry, man. Who cares? Sarth Meta, Paolo Paco, and George Sir. Thank you guys so much for joining the community over there on YouTube. Highly appreciate the subscriptions. All right, so yesterday's video was Bitcoin, much larger correction incoming, how to be prepared for the next market cycle. We discussed in that video what exactly we were going to do for the market cycle for the price movements in Bitcoin today. Actually, by the way, right now, if you guys do not recognize who that is in yesterday's thumbnail, that is my good friend Aaron. So shout out to Aaron, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Audio slinger over there. So we only have 3 commenters. That's okay. It's a Sunday evening show, man. So we're going to do a randomly pick a winner. Ding, 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 ding. Do something. All right. I guess we'll just wait, man. A11MK, what's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. Grind that Uber, Paul, man. That's how we do it, man. Okay, so this is not working the way that I expected. Let's try that again. There we go. Tom Hardy, man. Tom Hardy, thank you so much for the comment and for participating in our community, my good friend. He says, always think you look like a doctor in that shirt. Dr. Wise. You know, it's actually a La Lila is the brand. It's a La Lila Hawaiian like relaxation shirt. I just like the fabric. I like the feel of it. And I had actually purchased a large, which is normally what I wear in shirt size, and it was huge. It was billowy because it was like a Hawaiian shirt type thing. So I had to get a medium. So I almost never wear a schmedium, but yeah. Spottabee69, thank you so much for joining the community over there on YouTube, my good friend. So, Tom Hardy, you know the drill. If you get a hold of me in the Discord at JustinWise5696, I will tip you some crypto, man. If you guys want to participate, all you need to do is leave a comment at the end of today's video. All right, so looking over at the live market scene today, again, as I expected yesterday, seeing some significant corrections from our majors. The correction from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash continues to the downside as we did close below the baseline yesterday. That was my initiation to move out of Bitcoin, to move into cash, and to open up a 1x short to hedge my positions as well, or in addition, however you guys would like to view it. Semantics sometimes are not important. So, as we said yesterday, actually, here's some take profits. So there we go right there. And moving on to Bitcoin over here on the daily. As we can see, we did close below. Let's get rid of these lines. We did close below the baseline yesterday. And let's also get rid of that so you guys can see a little bit more clearly. All right, good. So we did close below the baseline yesterday. Now, looking at today's candle, we are getting a primary short signal. This is a primary short signal. This is something to pay attention to. This is the first primary short signal that we have gotten on Bitcoin since the 4th of June, 2019. So the 4th of June, 2019 was not a successful full risk trade. It was on the close of the 3rd of June, It was on the close of the 3rd of June that we actually ended up moving into our 1x short and moving into cash. And that was good because overall we had about a week, a little bit more than a week of consolidation. And then right here on the close of the candle of the 12th, we can actually look and see right here. So on the close of the 8th is actually where we exited that position in a small loss, the full risk position, but we did not move back into Bitcoin. That's a 3.71% loss. And that's okay because the system just tells us when it is statistically likely for us to make moves in the market. And so we went into our 1x short. We protected ourselves. We sat in cash. We actually opened up a full risk short at this point in time, which was a losing trade. That's absolutely fine. And we get back into Bitcoin in the market here, and we are out right here. So for a total gross increase of my total equity for 30%, just knowing when to be in Bitcoin and when to be out of Bitcoin, just as we've been following the exact same structure for the entire year and actually for quite a long time beyond that. Now, we are closing below the baseline, which is our indication to be in cash, to be in a 1x short, which by the way is the same thing. So when I say a 1x short, I want you guys to understand it's not like I sold into cash and then also put on shorts. What I really mean by that is that the funds that I have on ByBit, BitMEX, Ardeu, I don't take those off. I don't take the Bitcoin that I have on the exchanges off and sell them into cash. How would I open up a short then, right? So I open up a short to protect all the funds that I currently have in cryptocurrency. So any Ethereum that I have on ByBit is still in a 1x short. Any Bitcoin that I have on ByBit, BitMEX, Ardeu, the sum total of all Bitcoin that I have is protected by a 1x short, which is the same as sitting in cash. And that's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do until we get a signal like we are getting today, which is a primary short signal. And if everything is closing like it is tonight, we will be looking at the daily candle close tonight to be opening up a full risk short to profit off of, although we are already profiting off of the 1x short. That's why I like the 1x short. Not only are you sitting in cash if price moves up, but you also do profit if price moves down. Crypto AK, hey man, thanks for joining the community over there on YouTube, my good friend. So let's look at some potential price targets via recent volatility upon opening up that short tonight. We will go over these as well. And we are looking at 90, 83, 78, 78, and we've got to zoom down here a little bit, 66, 72. Now, do I think we go all the way down to 66, 72? I don't, but it is possible. That is just going to be an extension. That is just going to be an extension of where our recent volatility is going to point us at, because you have to remember in that volatility is taking into account this candle, and I know no better metric to determine take profit levels than actual market volatility, which changes from time to time, which is why our take profit targets will always change from time to time, as they should. Static take profit levels, static support and resistance levels do not have a high probability of success in general. Basing your actual stop and target levels on actual market volatility and keeping outside of the boundaries of recent volatility for your stop loss and slightly within the levels of volatility for your first initial take profit, and then letting your winner run, should that become the situation, is a better path to success. So anyways, closing below the baseline, we do have a level of support coming in the form of our secondary baseline coming in at 88.27. If we bring back those take profits, we have 90.63, 78.58. That 88.27 and that 78.58 are quite different, but what we could potentially see is a long wick down to that second take profit target and then a close above if we are going to maintain our bullish momentum from a fundamental perspective. So if we look at the weekly chart, for example, if we look at the weekly chart, let's take Rodrigo ATR off. If we look at the weekly chart, we can see some things. Let's point out a few weekly things out on the chart. So we obviously have what everybody is kind of talking about. Again, we don't trade candlestick patterns here as a primary form of our strategy, but it is worth noting the strong reversal candlestick pattern that was put in on the weekly chart as of the close of yesterday's candle. Okay, as of the close of the Sunday candle. Obviously, this is going to be, there's going to be different words for it. There's no correct term. I've read so many candlestick trading books that different people use different terms. I don't care. This is shaping up to be a shooting star. That's an evening star. It's an inverted hammer, whatever you guys want to call it. But what it denotes is that price opened here, the weekly opened at 10,827. It ran all the way up to a high of 13,880, and then it ended up being sold into so hard that even though price ran up almost $4,000, about $3,500, from the open to the close of the candle, by the time the weekly closed, we had shot all the way back down. We had gone up. This is typically retail buying into the later stages of a trend, and then institutional investors or institutional order flow selling into that and taking advantage of that buying liquidity to exit their positions, okay? To exit their positions. So the weekly actually closed at 10,760. So we did have a bearish weekly candle, although the run up was quite impressive. We ended up closing lower than we opened on the weekly and immediately getting down to the business of descending. So obviously we have that same support level. If you guys remember that support level over there on the daily time frame coming in from the secondary baseline, again, that number was 88.28. If we go over to the weekly, where is the primary baseline coming in at 82.54? That would actually strengthen that idea of that 7,000 price target a little bit, again, in the form of wicks wicking below our baseline, but yet still managing to close above. So, as I've said before, have we had a retest since the weekly 1355 exponential moving average crossover? Have we had a retest of either of those exponential moving averages? No, we have not. And if we go back to the last bull market, that is exactly what happened. We have the weekly crossover right here. We have a little bit of price appreciation. We have consolidation and then a pretty significant correction. And then we have a little bit more correction. And overall price stalls out. Honestly, although it is in an upwards drift, I would say this is from the point where we initially correct on the 11th of January, 2016 to the 16th of May. So almost 5 months of overall chop. Now, obviously, this is the weekly, so there was a lot of opportunity there, a lot of volatility on the daily time frame. But as you can see, if you zoom out enough, this was not the most profitable area of the market to move into. You move up, you move down, there's no movement. You move up, you move sideways, there's no movement. And then we have this really nice 80% run up, and then price just pretty much goes to the races after that. And it's just a big run up until the absolute top in December of 2017. So, anyways, exciting times to be in. The price does look bullish from a fundamental perspective. On the weekly, we are still in a bullish market cycle, but on the daily, we are at that point where you just want to be cautious. You want to lock in your profits from the movements of the market recently. Again, we're up over 200% from the local bottom. We ran up 351% from the bottom, currently sitting at a very good price appreciation. And don't make the mistake, I guess this is my biggest public service announcement, don't make the same mistake this bull cycle that you made last bull cycle. And I know this is hitting home for a lot of people watching this show. A lot of people became very wealthy on paper in 2017, and then they became very poor on paper in 2018. Don't make the same mistake, and the easy way to not make that mistake is just take some profit. Just take some, take half, for the love of God. Just take some money off the table. You are holding your wealth in a volatile asset that has a high probability to move up or move down 20 to 30%. And if you are looking at your trading capital or your investment capital to actually improve your quality of life right now, to actually allow you to buy some things, to actually allow you to profit and benefit from your wise investment and trading decisions, then the only way that you can do that is by taking money off the table and by purchasing your goods and services in the form of currency that you are allowed to, or that is more liquid depending on where you're at. So don't make the same mistake this bull run that you made the last bull run. This has nothing to do with Bitcoin's fundamental value. This has nothing to do with Bitcoin's ability to be the world reserve currency. This has nothing to do with not having faith in Bitcoin, okay? But you can be a believer and a proponent and a supporter of Bitcoin and also not be a lemming when it comes to your money management skills, okay? So again, you will not find somebody more bullish on Bitcoin than me. But the difference between myself and an uneducated investor is that I know when to take profit. I know when to secure my personal financial situation, because if you benefit the Bitcoin network, but yourself personally fail out, I would argue that you have not really benefited the network, because the network is there to improve your personal life. And if you have to sacrifice and take literally no reward for boosting that network, then you have failed, in my personal opinion. Okay, so I seem to be talking faster today, double the coffee today. I actually feel like I'm talking slower than I normally do. Anyways, moving right along. So let's take a look at the technicals here. WADA ATAR explosion is printing a very strong red bar above the explosion level. Now, we still have a falling explosion level, which is not, we need to have a rising explosion level to have a primary entry signal from WADA ATAR. However, WADA ATAR is not our primary indicator. Minx is, and Minx is throwing up that short signal right now. So I'll be looking to establish a full risk short position in addition to what I currently have already open up in the exchanges. And honestly, it's about as simple as that, guys. It's about as simple as that. I'll be establishing a short. I've already talked about my initial take profit targets, and I will be managing my trade thus far and keep you guys updated. Now, let me also clue you guys into how a little bit of professional trading actually works. If price reverses and we close above the baseline and we get a signal to go long, then we'll go long and we'll take the loss. Cool. That's exactly what we did over here. I want to point that out because, again, this all goes back to the results of any one trade do not matter, do not make you a good or bad trader. And this is so difficult for a lot of people to wrap their heads around, for example, because most people think that what makes them a good trader is the ability to catch a very good trade that looks impressive on crypto Twitter, right? So they want to post a really impressive ROI on crypto Twitter. You know, there is a plague of individuals who post BitMEX ROEs, and ROE is not an indication of how much money you're actually making. It's just a return on your margin, for example. So it's very, very, very misleading, but people post those and they leave out their position size, and they leave out what leverage they have selected. And as soon as you see that stuff, when people post their ROEs on BitMEX, there is a 99% chance that they're not actually a good trader. Generally, you want to run far away from those people, because being able to be lucky, which is what it is, when you over leverage on a trade or put a lot of risk into a trade, or a trade just works out fantastically, in that one individual instance, that's luck. There's no amount of analysis that you can do to give you a higher probability of any one individual trade hitting the take profit before the stop loss. It's just that simple. The only thing that you can affect is your statistical average, your statistical edge over a series of trades. So anybody that is out there trying to tell you that this is the trade, I have 100% conviction that this is the one, baby, put all your money, I'm all in, those are people who are dumb. They are not professionals. They are going to get wrecked. They are, whatever terminology you want to call them, moon boys, or doom boys, or whatever you want to call them, right? Doesn't matter. They're just uneducated investors, and they're not good traders, because any good trader is never all in on any asset. That's what like a 13-year-old says. I'm all in, baby. Grown men and grown women do not talk like that. Educated investors do not speak like that. Professional traders do not speak like that, do not view the market like that, because educated and professional investors understand that it is a statistical game and you need a statistical edge. The results of any one individual trade don't matter. So I just want to point that out. I'm very transparent in what I do. So we went 1x short on this date right here at the close of this candle, the 3rd of June. I entered into a full risk short on the 4th of June. I lost money on that. I probably lost more money on that than the average viewer's account balance. Totally fine. Because I listened to the system, I got back into Bitcoin on the close of this candle. And because of that, I ended up making 30% of my total equity on this movement to the upside. So anyways, we've got a lot to cover today. So let's get into let's get into Ethereum as well. Let's hop on over to Ethereum on Coinbase. And again, you could basically just take everything that I said about about Bitcoin, and apply that right on over to Bitcoin today. All right. Bitcoin is closing below the baseline, closed below the baseline yesterday. And I want to point this out too. This might be better for, I talked about this yesterday just a little bit, but let's break this down. This is going to be really helpful for the guys in the group, and I think for people watching as well. So we have to understand that Ethereum and Bitcoin are volatile assets, and they are not the same as sitting in cash. Okay, when you sit in cash, although again, we could have a very long argument about the devaluation or appreciation of Ethereum, about fiat currencies. What the fact? Hey, what's going on, brother? When it comes to Bitcoin, it is not an argument that I will entertain that fiat currencies are more volatile than cryptocurrencies. All right, so can we all just agree on that? Like that, if you put your money, if I have $20,000 in dollars, in USD, I'm gonna have $20,000 tomorrow. For the most part, right? Might be like 20,000 or like $19,999.998, but it's going to be $20,000. So when it comes to moving in and out of fiat, okay, here's what we have to understand. If price closes below the baseline, we are out of the market. If price then closes back above, we do not necessarily immediately get back into the market, because we need everything in our structure to tell us to go, because moving back into Bitcoin is the same thing as putting on a new trade. Okay? And what is our system designed to do? As you guys know, we are trend following traders on this channel and in the group and in everything that we do at Cracking Cryptocurrency, right? We do have some allotments for discretionary trades. Some of those might be reversals, but that accounts for about 5% of our trades, okay? Now, what is the bane of trend following traders and why most people who have never used a technical indicator based system or have used one for a few weeks and realize that, oh my God, if I just do everything that this one indicator tells me to do, I don't make as much money as I want to. Oh, these guys over on Twitter are talking about support and resistance and Fibonacci's and triangles and head and shoulders. Like, I got to do that. And then they end up going and getting wrecked like everybody else that does that nonsense. So, the entire point of our entire system is to filter out losses and to act as filtration systems for bad signals, okay? And bad signals, especially in consolidation and chop, is what murders trend-following traders. So that is what we have designed. That is what we do. We filter out the noise, and we only take the best signals. So when we are looking to get back into the market, we have to understand that that is the same thing as re-entering into a trade. That is the same thing as putting your money back in the volatile market. And you don't do that just based off of one technical indicator. You need a confluence of signals that all agree and point in the direction towards success. So I've gotten a lot of questions about that, and I wanted to be able to explain that as clearly as I could. So hopefully that clears up a lot of questions on that, man. Thank you so much, Ricky. Highly appreciated. Copenhagen. So I trade for about an hour a day. And I would assume that based on the results that I've seen, it generally takes, you can learn to use the structure that you get handed when you join in the group over a weekend. But the entire course, I would say, probably takes about a month and a half to go through. And yes, I do. We provide signals and setups every single day. We have multiple analysts that provide signals and setups, some more frequent than others, but I post every single day. Every single day. At the same time every day, by the way. Moving right along. All right, so Ethereum generating a primary short signal on the daily. Here is the primary signal from Minx, as we can see right here, telling us exactly what to do. Minx is below the zero line. If we look down at Wada Explosion is confirming this movement as well. Now, one thing that you might play into your discretionary position sizing is, of course, the volume oscillator. Volume is not above the volume moving average, nor is it above the zero line on the volume oscillator. So, if you are utilizing discretionary position sizing, as you should be, if you want increased results in the market, if this is, it doesn't have to be, but if this is a component of your discretionary position sizing, then take that into account and reduce your position size. That's all you have to do. Our VGI is obviously confirming this movement as well by having crossed under the signal line. And there's not a whole lot beyond that. So let's go look at those targets. And we are going to be initially looking at 254, 226, and 199. Now, keep in mind that we do have a level of support coming in the form of the secondary baseline at 257.07. And again, confirming that concept, 257.07, and a very long wick down potentially to our second take profit target. It's kind of how I see it playing out. All right. Or I see price reversing and we get back into a long. Doesn't really matter. Whichever way the market moves, we'll be on the side of it. Okay, so let's go look at, what did I want to look at? I wanted to look at the weekly. Okay. Let's go look at BitFinex, okay? Yeah, let's go look at BitFinex because I think we're going to have the best data set from BitFinex on Ethereum to the daily, or excuse me, on the weekly time frame. And I want to point out something very interesting, and we are close to confirming a bull market for Ethereum as well. Now, it hasn't happened yet, and this signal can completely go away. But I just want to point out that when we got, just as we got over here, all right, so it's very difficult to see, but I'm going to assume that had we had the data set, it would have occurred somewhere right around here. where we would have had that weekly 1355, or excuse me, so just call it the weekly baseline crossover, which would have occurred back here around March of 2017. You can see that that confirms the absolute bull market to the upside. And again, what do our moving average crossovers tell us? What do our baseline crossovers tell us? They are indicative of long-term trend direction. Okay, as you can see here, there's really no arguing that when we get that weekly cross under, and you can notice this phenomenon on the daily as well. You notice this phenomenon on the daily as well, that when you get those baseline crossovers, the trend almost always respects that direction. Okay. So here on the 6th of August, 2018, we close below the secondary baseline. The primary baseline closes below the secondary baseline and really kicks off the worst part of the bear market. Now, we are hinting at a baseline crossover to the upside. Again, we already had this in Bitcoin, and one can make the argument that we don't have the best historical data here, because if we had more historical data, our moving averages would be smoothed more, right? We would have more indicative data, but they're not. This is what we have to work with. So we have to respect them. We have to respect the technical indicators as they currently exist, because that's all that we have. So kind of eager to see what's going to happen with Ethereum. In my mind, I'm viewing this as a leading indicator. Now, keep in mind that we already had the weekly baseline crossover for Bitcoin. We already had that. So I do believe that we are in a confirmed bull market. I've been saying that for a little bit over a month now. And I am looking at this as somewhat of a leading indicator. I want to see if we get the crossover or if we reject. And it kind of depends on, obviously, what price does, because if price moves down to the downside and ends up closing below the secondary baseline on the weekly, then most likely this signal, we won't get the crossover. It'll just have come right up, kiss the moving average, and come right back down. Now, I don't think that that's going to, I don't believe that that will detract or change what's already occurred on the weekly of the Bitcoin chart. But just something to keep in mind. That's pretty much it. Bitcoin and Ethereum in a short position. We'll be establishing a full risk short position on the close of today's candle. That's about it. It's pretty simple, guys. In my mind, at least. So just going back and talking about those baseline crossovers, as you can see, here's the baseline crossover here. And when we do get the baseline crossover, we generally appreciate for a little bit. And following a pullback, we typically move into a bullish direction. And again, that same phenomenon happened over on Bitcoin on the weekly that I've pointed out multiple times. Going back over to the weekly of Bitcoin, the last time that we got the weekly moving average crossover, price appreciation, consolidation, pullback, we pretty much hold the weekly baseline, and then we continue on to the upside. Now, it's much clearer on the weekly, especially for Bitcoin, because there's more liquidity. You do get the same quality of signals on the daily, but there is going to be more pullback and consolidation. So again, same thing here. We got the moving average crossover on the 22nd of February. Then we have a big movement to the upside. This was actually, if you guys can go back, literally go back to the video, I opened up the trade live on stream, took this trade to the downside, profited on this short movement. I mean, literally opened up the short trade up here, took this trade to the downside, and then we were off to the races for the bull cycle. So just a pattern to notice. And again, the same thing that I'm going to recommend for everything that I talk about is take everything that I say and just go test it. Everything that I do is based off statistics, measurability, verifiability. I trade literally just like the blockchain. Everything that I do is testable, verifiable. When you join the group, when you look at the trades, when you look at the coursework, there is no trust me about it. There is no take my word for it, I'm an expert. There is, here is how it works. Go test it if you have questions. And then you test it, you come up with the exact same numbers, and then you start applying it, and you see that it works, and then you trade it. It's that simple. We don't do any guesswork. Everything we do is verifiable. That is the only way to trade. Everything you do needs to be back-testable, statistical, and represent a statistical edge in the market. There is no, I'm an amazing understander of price action, bro, and because of this, I just know we're going down or up, going all in. Run far away if you hear that stuff, man. All right, man. Moving on. Moving on. Let's get into our. It's 12:41, so let's get into traditional markets. We will take a brief glance. Here we go. Patchell13, thanks so much for joining the community over there on Twitch, man. Good to meet you. And Zappello as well. Thank you so much, Zappello. All right, so we will take a brief look at Bitcoin dominance. And again, putting in that same kind of behavior as Bitcoin as well, dropping below the baseline. And what we can see is we generally, when Bitcoin dominance drops below the baseline, we do have appreciation of BTC pairings. Okay, so alts to BTC generally do quite well when Bitcoin dominance drops. But again, this is also a bearish indicator for the entire market as well, because it all depends. We have to correlate this with tether dominance. And as we can see, Bitcoin dominance dropping, tether dominance rising is typically bearish for the entire space. And that's why we have to perform our daily scan every day, because within this morass of just about everything pulling back, there are going to be every single day trading opportunities. But if you only trade a few coins and you are not doing the daily scan, as we teach individuals to do in the group, then you're not going to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. You have to scan the entire market every day, because every coin is different. Every market for every coin is different. There's going to be different buyers and sellers. You know, the individuals with lots of capital are moving back and forth between markets to find the best safe haven for their assets, because there's lots of people who will not move into Tether and will not move into USD. What the fact says, can I copy trade you, bro? You cannot, because I do not support people taking the easy way out. You're gonna have to learn to do yourself, man. Yeah, sure, man. So, Obranovich, that's fine. In fact, we have quite a few people who do trade on BitMEX. It's not an exchange we officially support, but we do have a lot of people in the group who do trade on BitMEX. Again, the market is very efficient. So because you're going to have the tools and the indicators to tell you what your own personal take profit levels are going to be in the first place, and because you're going to absolutely learn how to do the system and the process yourself, the data translates over to other exchanges. I have people in the group who take exactly what we teach them and they apply it to Forex, even though, again, it's not officially supported yet, and they apply it to traditional markets as well. So, no, again, I completely disagree with you. My wife doesn't believe in me. I think that that's absolutely wrong, because if you are only focusing on a few coins, then your opportunities are very small, okay? Now, you're not trading 50 coins. You're trading the coins that are right to trade, and that's going to change from day to day. But if you only focus on a few coins, you're always going to be looking for trades to take in those coins, and 9 out of 10 times, there's not a trade to be taken. So again, I've done this before, like live on the air. Like, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. I do this every single day. This is what it looks like when I'm looking for trades. I'll show you guys. Watch. Just watch. This is how I trade. No. 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 Maybe, right? That's a maybe. Okay. So it literally takes 1 second to look at a chart if you follow a system, because technical indicators are binary. Something is either true or it's not, right? And I've developed an entire system that tells me exactly what to do when, and I only move when the system tells me to move. I scan through the coins. It takes me 5 seconds. I use the journal. I use the calculator. I put on the trades. I'm done. I walk away from the computer. So getting back into Nick M, 12-hour chart. Short answer, 12-hour chart. It's hard. BTT USDT was a trade we put on last night. Der Crypto Meister, what's going on, my good man? Not a whole lot to scan on Coinbase Pro, though. You're right, man. You're right. but it is an exchange. We are going to be, so yeah, that was another trading group update. Sorry, guys. So we are adding Coinbase Pro tonight. So tonight will be the first night that the premium trading group does officially support Coinbase Pro. As I said, we're going to be adding either Bittrex or Wabi Pro next month. We're not exactly sure which one it is yet. And then again, we're going to be adding Forex trading in Q3 of 2019. Okay, so we looked at Bitcoin dominance dropping, USDT dominance rising, generally bearish across the market. But again, you need to look at every individual coin because there's going to be opportunities in individual coins. And I think last night I noticed that low sat coins. Low sat coins did look quite interesting. And this is typically where the money revolves. The market moves down. And then typically we see large caps pump, medium caps pump, mid caps pump, and then low caps pump. And that's typically how the market cycle goes. But replace the word cap with sat, and you'll actually be far more correct, man. Far more correct. Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, there's quite a few people who trade PTP on the 12-hour. There's a lot who trade on the 8 and the 4 too. And there's a few who trade on the 30-minute chart, and I just can't stop them from doing it. It works on all time frames. You can trade PTP. You can take the methods that I teach and apply them to any time frame and have good success. But there are lots of benefits to trading the time frames that I trade. So anyways, let's get into traditional markets. The first thing, our first stop is going to be okay, that looks good. Our first stop is going to be the S&P CFD over there on Awanda. And again, long on the CFD for the S&P 500, bullish on traditional markets right now. Continuation long was signaled on Friday, i.e. should have had your order in the books and taken that to the upside. So long trade on the S&P 500 for Awanda. Let's see. Well, let's actually see. You might have already. It's going to be contestable. Let's see. 2976.24. Yeah, you would have already hit your first take profit target if you'd have taken the continuation long. You can see here that the target is 2976.24, and this candle reached a high of 2977. So you would have already gotten filled on your first take profit, and you would still be in this trade. Getting over to our E-minis. Let's look at the NQ again. Talked about using that S&P CFD as a leading indicator for our three big ones. So our NQ, our SP, and our Dow. So the YM, taking all three of those to the upside. And what did you wake up to on Monday morning? Nice gap to the upside on the NQ. Same for the SP. Let's go look at the YM. So the YM ran up, but is selling back right now. Still throwing up that continuation long signal that I believe will confirm. We'll have to wait till the markets close really soon. But again, good opportunity to get in at a lower price. Looking over at the Russell 1000, again, confirmed the long trade. Would you have hit the first take profit? No, your Russell trade might be a loser, but you are a little bit below break even right now, depending on when you entered into the trade. But again, actually, sorry, let me walk that back a little bit. As you can see, we are above the qualifying line. So this is actually not a valid trade, and that is exactly what I said on Friday. So we do need to wait for this pullback. Right, the Russell 1000, we needed the pullback in the first place anyways. So let's see where this closes. Let's see if we can actually dip a little bit lower and pick that up. VIX, after dropping down to 14.45, man, volatility drying up for intraday traders, man. Still okay, still in that basket of okay, but I really like that pocket 15 is where I really like it to be. And GLD Commodities continue to sink kind of down, waking up to a pretty significant gap to the downside. That's all right. We've been talking about being out of GLD Commodities since up here, and then obviously we got the official signal to exit here. So coming off of that primary long. But again, we'd already taken profit on that trade. Here's the continuation long, the last one. And since that is a continuation long, i.e. a sensitive entry, we are listening to our sensitive exit, which got us out at the very top of the market. Getting over into back to our CFDs, and let's go look at our precious metals. So ZAO having a little bit more of a correction. Precious metals taking a little bit of a hit today. So let's see. Moving to the downside, we are at the baseline, looking at a baseline reversal bounce. That is the only trade to take. Again, the risk is very low because if we end up closing below the baseline, you would be out of the trade. So still bullish on gold, but that could change tomorrow depending on where we close. Looking at palladium. Palladium continues to overall consolidate, but again, still bullish on palladium as well. We are in a primary long signal, and we would have exited on this candle right here and have not yet gotten the continuation entry, but we are really close. All we need is a little bit more bullish momentum, and Minx will cross out of the static zone and give us a long signal again, but so far keeping us out of the market. Looking at ZAG closing below the baseline, and although I am fundamentally bullish on silver, I am a technical trader, and I will listen to the charts. So just as with Bitcoin, silver closing below the baseline, got to exit the trade. Actually not in a trade because continuation long, riding a continuation long, therefore we're listening to our sensitive exit, so getting us out again at the top of the market, and no trade to be taken, potentially throwing up a short trade. It's going to take us probably another day to confirm a short trade though on silver. And platinum, we still need for price to come below the qualifying line. And gold, silver, pull back down to the daily baseline. Pull back down to the daily baseline, no strong signal, riding a continuation long, getting out right here, again, at the top of the market, but I digress. Closing above the baseline, so still bullish. Volume's good. Wadatar is not confirming any long trades, so we've just entered into a no-trade zone on a lot of our precious metals. Bentley crude, I continue to remain bullish on oil. If we go down here to West Texas, obviously, again, bullish on West Texas since over here on the 18th of June. Looking at our regular commods. Corn, again, I called for a short trade on the close of Friday's candle, and we get to wake up to this. Natural gas was a losing long, it seems. So exiting the long trade in natural gas at a loss. Soybeans threw up no such signal, so we're good to go. Sugar looks like it's going to be a losing commods trade as well. Let's actually see. Did we hit our first take profit on that? No, we did not. So that is a losing trade. And looking at wheat, talked about potentially opening up a short on wheat on Friday. Obviously, I can't trade CFDs, but we are getting that confirmation today. But it comes a little too slow, and the reason why being because we are below the qualifying line. We need to be above it. So if you kind of jump the gun putting on the wheat short, that's good. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wait a little bit for a pullback. Going to our major Forex pairs as we're coming into the last few minutes of the first hour of the show here before we go to a quick break. Aussie yen actually hit all my take profit targets again. I've been posting all that stuff on Twitter. I got to wake up this morning to a bunch of take profits triggering on my FX trade on my mobile device. Aussie dollar having a steep pullback. So again, that was a trade that I was long on, already hit my take profits. 2 of 3, price pulled back down and hit my break even stop. That's good. Canadian Swissy coming off this long signal over here again. Long on this one as well, hitting all 3 of my take profits on this big movement to the upside on the Canadian Swissy. Looking at the CAD yen remains a strong long coming off of this continuation long, so you're doing quite well. The Swissy yen was a good long signal here, ended up hitting 1 of 3 take profits, I do believe. Let's double check. Yeah, 1 of 3 take profits here, and price coming back down and getting you out right at your break-even stop loss. Euro Aussie entered into a short on the close of this candle. Price moving to the downside, throwing up a little bit of a Darth Maul candle now, but we've already hit 1 of 3 take profit targets, so we just patiently wait. Euro CAD continues to remain a strong short. Here was the primary short signal generated here. Euro Swissy is kind of bordering on being a long. We got the exit signal here from our sensitive exit indicator and here from our primary exit indicator. And since we were riding the short from here is where we could have entered into the trade. Riding the short from here, we would be listening to this. So still getting out at quite a good gain. And we are right on the border of getting a Euro Swissy long. So pay attention to that. Euro Kiwi continues to be a short. The Euro Pound is in a no trade zone. The Euro Yen is also in a no trade zone. The Euro Dollar is setting up to be a short after a losing long trade. Let's see here. The Pound Kiwi is a good short. I'm sure we've hit multiple take profits. Here's the primary signal here. We would have taken it here, continuing to the downside. And getting a little bit of a correction today, but still, position remains open. Our VGI has not crossed over. Pound CAD, again, still riding this continuation short from over here. And exiting here, actually, yesterday, or on Friday, excuse me. So exiting Friday, so we are out of the pound CAD. Pound Aussie, riding a primary short. We have not crossed over to the upside. We've hit 1 of 3 take profit. Stop losses at break even, nothing to do. Pound Swissy, riding this continuation short, and the exit signal generated right here, so we're good. And the pound Swissy is probably going to be a long in a few days. Pound yen is a do nothing. Actually, excuse me, the pound yen was a long on the close of Friday's candle. And you wake up to almost your first take profit getting hit, but not quite. Pound dollar is throwing up a short signal today that is not confirmed by Wada Atar, so nothing to do. Kiwi dollar, most of the Kiwi trades are pulling back now after putting in some good bullish price appreciation, except for the Kiwi Swissy, which is continuing to be a good positive long, as well as the Kiwi yen. And we'll skip over the dollar pairs just to go to the dollar yuan, which is, again, something else that I'm very short on. Actually, I got to wake up today to another of my take profits on the dollar yuan getting hit. Been short on this since the primary short signal. Actually, sorry, it was right here. Right here. No, it was right here. Wednesday. Right here. Right here on the 25th when I went short on the dollar yuan. All right, so it is 12:57, guys. So we're going to go take a quick break. When we come back, don't go anywhere, guys, because we've got a great rest of the show. We're going to go over, is Craig Wright helpful or harmful to Bitcoin? And we are going to really put the nail in the coffin that he even has a potentiality to be Satoshi Nakamoto. And we're going to talk about quantum computing. We're going to talk about quantum computing and its impact on blockchain security and why quantum computing is not a threat to the blockchain. We're also going to take your user-submitted chart requests and take any question that you might have, guys. And before I go, I want to give a big shout-out to MD Mahmoudal Hassan. Thank you so much for joining us over there on YouTube, my good friend. Now, before I go to break, as traders, selecting our exchange is one of the most important decisions that we will make. I'm often asked as a professional trader what metrics I use to evaluate what exchange I'm going to trade on. And I always say the same thing. Security, ease of use, and customer service. An exchange has to check all 3 of those boxes. One of the best exchanges that checks all 3 of those boxes is ByBit. They're a newer exchange. They are based out of Singapore, which has some of the strictest regulation in the financial markets. Their customer service is available right at the bottom hand corner of their screen. Their platform is extremely easy to use, yet it also has advanced order features, and they've got a fantastic roadmap and supportive staff. So if you guys would like to check out ByBit, that's the platform that we trade on and that we officially support with our signals and setups. You guys can check out bybit.krakencryptocurrency.com. You guys can get access to $60 in margin to trade on their platform and test it out if you're not sure. Again, that's bybit.krakencryptocurrency.com. We're going to go for a quick break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Thank you for hanging in there as we proceed with the second hour of the show. And the first thing that I wanted to point out, I said I was going to go over this at the beginning, but I got some DMs I got some messages actually here on my phone. So we're going to go look at this real quick. Of course, this is going to be, this is updated. You guys can go see this live all the time. It's updated every 8 hours for the public-facing sheet. This is results or current results.crackingcryptocurrency.com. If you guys would like to see all of our past results, you can of course go to results.crackingcryptocurrency.com. So current results.crackingcryptocurrency.com and results.crackingcryptocurrency.com for our historical trades. As you can see, we started off the month of June with a first weekend drawdown of about 8.83% for a total P&L of all trades taken. Actually, it's ROI, excuse me. So total ROI of all trades taken. Week 2 came back strong 75.66%. Again, here, I want to point this out, right? This is what a real trading journal looks like. Sometimes we take more wins or sometimes we take more losses than wins, but it is our risk management, it is our money management skills where we reduce the capital loss, we reduce the negative P&L of losing trades by having multiple early exit systems, and where we increase via position sizing the profitability of our successful trades that allow us to defeat the market every time. Week 3 doing quite well. Calculated within week 3 is actually our BTC movement back into Bitcoin at 8,000. And again, our final sell at 10,767 on the close of last night's candle for a total ROI of 63.01%. And of course, really killing it in week 4. Obviously, we have a lot of trades to thank for that. Obviously, the EOS M19 shorts, the LTC M19 shorts, as well as some big winners like LTC M19 to the downside, EOS M19 to the downside, some Bitcoin shorts in there. Link pulling in about 40% on each Link trade. And Ren as well, doing quite well. So anyways, so let's get over into the news. Moving down a little bit, and here we go. All right, so imagine for a moment, or sorry, this is the wrong one right here. So imagine for a moment that Craig Wright is who he claims to be. That Craig Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto, the inventor of Bitcoin. All right, so imagine that, and then you probably feel like you need to take a shower, and that's okay, I understand that. So if you are one of the few who believe this, despite his many rambling arguments and inconsistencies, if you believe that he now rejects Bitcoin due to it, being used for bad things, then what effect does his inability to access his 1.1 million Bitcoin have on the potential price in the Bitcoin market? Now, just to give you guys an update on, we've been talking about this for a while, but obviously Craig Wright is in court. down in Florida. He's being sued by the estate of Dave Kleiman, who he collaborated on with Bitcoin. So they are suing him for about $10 billion because they claim he stole access to all the Bitcoin that they mined back in the day. So he claims to have no access to the Bitcoin that he mined back in the early days with Dave Kleiman. So according to him, those Bitcoin were placed in a trust for safekeeping and encrypted with something akin, as we talked about yesterday, to Shamir secret sharing. And that basically that slices up any piece of code into key slices, and you have to combine the key slices with a certain weight to actually be able to access the information. So he requires those key slices to be collected to decrypt the private keys and seeds to access the funds. And those key slices will not be available to him until January 2020. But according to him, since Dave Kleiman died, he may not be able to access those key slices, the ones that he requires to access the funds at all. Now, we talked yesterday because Shamir's secret sharing does not require any specific order of key slices to access information. It actually just requires a preponderance of the key slices, whatever was coded into the original idea. And on the stand, Craig Wright testified that he needs a specific order, which is incorrect, which is invalid. Now, there is a possibility, there is the idea that you could do that in a certain way, but the idea that they would have done that is extremely low. And again, I'm not a technology expert, but I understand it fairly well, especially blockchain technology. I speak about it. And from every person that I've reached out to who is an expert, who is a developer, they said that the idea that they did this is pretty ludicrous. I mean, the odds are very, very low. Now, the idea that they did Shamir secret sharing is fine, but the idea that he's talking about a specific order, and again, the problem comes that almost everything that Craig Wright says on a daily basis is inconsistent with stuff that he said at a previous point in time. And that's exactly what I want to talk about right now. So, because those key slices for Craig Wright were placed in a trust for safekeeping and encrypted with this Shamir secret sharing, it's possible, according to him, that those Bitcoin are forever lost. Now, this explanation obviously provides Wright a very convenient defense against why he cannot pay the $10 billion lawsuit that is being levied against him by the estate of Dave Kleiman. However, that assertion, that claim creates its own set of problems. So if you guys recall, we'll go back in time. We'll go back in the way back machine to when Craig Wright first appeared on the stage claiming that he was Satoshi Nakamoto and proved that he was Satoshi Nakamoto by fabricating an example demonstration. He did a signing of a private key on an offline system, proving to individuals like Calvin Ayre and Gavin Andreessen that he was Satoshi Nakamoto, and they've been banging the drum for him that he is Satoshi Nakamoto based off of that proof. He also did this semi-publicly, pseudo-publicly for a group of journalists, and this is why the media herald him as the real Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, so we've already gone in depth. Jameson Lopp has a fantastic article about why this was a fraud and why this was not an actual real signature and why it doesn't prove anything. And it was basically prestidigitation. It was a sleight of hand for non-technical individuals to try to fabricate and dupe them that he is Satoshi Nakamoto. But if we just take those two data sets, he currently does not have access to the private keys. And in the past, he proved that he was Satoshi by doing the digital signature. So do you guys see the problem here? So if he had the private keys then, and he does not have them now, that means that he either A, lied during his crying breakdown baby fit in court on Friday, he B, duped those who witnessed a fake signing, which is what I believe, or he C, collaborated with the witnesses to fabricate the signing event. Now, which is also probably extremely likely, especially with individuals like Calvin Ayre. Now, this article that I'm referencing here goes on to talk about how he could have been telling the truth in court, but I'm going to stop there because this article goes on to speculate that if Craig Wright is Satoshi and he is telling the truth, and he does not have access to the 1.1 million Bitcoins he mined, then there could be a very bullish effect on price because that would be supply contraction. There would now be about a 5.36% reduction in total supply, in addition to all of the Bitcoins that are estimated to have been lost throughout time. I.e., the more scarce something is, the more valuable it becomes. However, since we already have run into a glaring inconsistency in Wright's story, the fact that there is no way he demonstrated a key signing with private keys he claims he does not now have access to, we can just stop there. So Craig Wright is, again, this channel has been very firm in this. Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto. He is a rambling, inconsistent jackass. But Bitcoin, so although Bitcoin's price is still fundamentally bullish, not currently technically bullish, so it remains the wunderkind of my investment portfolio, regardless of how you guys feel kind of about this situation. All right, moving on over into the kind of the big story of the day, quantum computing. So, we all know the cryptography that secures the blockchain. We all know that it is cryptography, that secures the blockchain and allows protocols like Bitcoin to run in a secure manner. So digital cryptography is what generates private keys. It updates the shared ledger that we colloquially know as the blockchain. As it currently stands, networks like Bitcoin are virtually unbreakable. Remember, Bitcoin has not been hacked in a significant way in the decade plus that it's been operating. However, that does depend on the current state of technology. One of the biggest threats on the horizon is obviously quantum computing. So, a quick primer for those who are not familiar with what quantum computing is, and while I do not claim to be an expert, buckle up. So, a quantum computer is any device that relies on the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations. Regular computers use binary units called bits to perform calculations. A bit is a binary state. A bit can either be 0 or 1. Quantum machines, on the other hand, rely on quantum bits, or qubits, which can be both 0 and 1 simultaneously. This is because of a quantum phenomenon called superposition, and it has the practical effect of allowing these devices to perform calculations much faster than regular computers. Another phenomenon that allows faster calculation is the concept of quantum entanglement. Quantum particles can be entangled. In other words, they can be made to exist in the same quantum state, and a change in one particle will cause a change in the other entangled particle, regardless of the physical space between them. So, this is how interstellar communication will be possible, for example. So, entangling qubits leads to exponential growth in that system's processing power. Now, we have physical limitations on quantum computing as technology sits today. The state of superposition is extremely difficult to maintain. So currently, physicists use lasers and microwave beams to put qubits into their working state, to put them into the state of superposition, and employ lots of crazy techniques to keep those particles into isolation, because any change in temperature or environment or noise or electromagnetic waves will cause the system to stop functioning properly, and it will break down in a process known as decoherence. So, however, with an efficient and operational quantum computer or network of quantum computers, as the state of technology sits, or as the state of technology will change, blockchain security could absolutely be undermined. So, one thing that people obviously point to is Shor's algorithm. This is a famous mathematical process for decomposing factors, which would render most modern encryption methods obsolete, i.e. SHA-256. Now, blockchain security, for those familiar with the concept of proof of work, relies heavily on the concept of one-way mathematical functions. In other words, securing the network relies on running mathematical computations that are very easy to run one way, but very difficult to reverse engineer and redo. However, a quantum computer or network of quantum computers would be able to reverse compute much faster than a traditional computer can forward compute, making it possible for a quantum computer to essentially rewrite the entire ledger, manipulate transactions, double spend, you name it. Now, this is a hot button topic in the technology community, and opinions vary on which way this technology will go. However, one thing is consistent: projections. Within the next 5 to 10 years, all the experts agree that quantum networks will be a viable reality and something that we do have to contend with. Now, am I worried about this? Absolutely not. Why? Because the state of technology will change, and we are already in the process of moving from security encryption methods based off of today's state of technology to a quantum-resistant state of technology. This is just how security works. This is how security has always worked. It is an arms race. Hackers get better. Defenders get better. So hackers get better. So defenders get better. And it's just an arms race. And really, this is no different from humans' history of evolving physical security. So we made huts. So people started using rocks to break through the huts. So people made armor. So people made spears to pierce the armor. So people discovered masonry, and people built castle walls. So people built trebuchets to knock down those walls and stab people in the throat. So then people invented guns to kill at a distance. So then people invented bombs to kill at a farther distance. And then people invented the atom bomb, which currently is why the world, for the most part, is at peace. Again, that is a hot button topic too. And in and of itself, however, it is undeniable, in my opinion, that it is the threat of nuclear war that keeps the world in a relative state of peace. I know this is very controversial. However, the saying that I've always clung to is the angel of peace shelters in the arms of the god of war, or more commonly, if you want peace, be prepared for war or be prepared to fight for it. So the problem, again, as an anarcho-capitalist, is government monopoly on the use of force. That is the problem, not the concept of war itself. The threat of death has always, historically, been what keeps different groups of humans from killing each other and taking the other stuff. The threat of violence forces us to communicate and to trade, which builds society. Okay, it's always easier to just go club the other person and take their shiny stuff. That is the caveman thinking that runs in the back of all of our nervous systems. However, because that is dangerous, because we might die, because the other person might have a club too, it's often more beneficial to engage in communication and compromise, just so we don't have to stand or face the threat of death, because there are no green mushrooms in life. There are no one-ups. So overall, my opinion and my thought process on this is the state of technology will change, and technologies like, guess what's at the leading edge of all technology right now? Cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency will be the first system to adopt quantum-resistant security methods. So the idea that cryptocurrency technology or blockchain technology will remain static while quantum computing will just rise up and smash it is fucking stupid, in my professional opinion, because technology evolves, right? Security is an arms race, okay? So as quantum computing becomes more of a threat, you already have cryptography experts that are moving to create systems that defend against quantum attacks. And again, one easy, viable solution is an entire quantum internet. So a quantum internet solves this entire problem. And the idea that a quantum computer can be used for attack can just be retrofitted to say that a quantum computer can also be used for defense. Again, security is an arms race. And as long as there is a profit potential, which there is a profit potential in Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, then security will evolve to be able to handle the threats. And then the threats will evolve, and then security evolves. It's just an arms race, guys. This is just something that we're going to go back and forth. The idea that, oh my God, it's quantum computing. Okay, quantum computing is fantastic and all, and I think it's going to have some serious implications now we view the world as quantum mechanics is in general, but doesn't change the basic nature of human existence, right? Technology is an arms race. Security gets better, attacks get better. So security gets better, so attacks get better. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it's always been with armor. It's the way it's always been with homes. It's the way it's always been with war. It's the way it's always been with guns. It's just an arms race. Technology improves, and all technology improves. Capitalism has spread technology to the majority of the world, and that's why we have seen a dramatic rise in the standard of living across the entire world, because individuals who, and this is one of the, again, there are so many logical inconsistencies with people who are, of differing, just all over the place. A lot of people have logical inconsistencies, and I do as well. I'm not a perfect person. I have my own logical inconsistencies. But the point is that, people will point out like how the world is so terrible, but then on the other hand say that, well, you have people all over the world who don't have access to clean water, but they got a cell phone, so they should participate in the blockchain Bitcoin network because that'll improve their lives. That to me is a logical inconsistency, because you cannot say that the world has not gotten better or been improved by capitalism and then turn around and say, but because of capitalism, man, you should all get this Bitcoin on your mobile phone and go Lightning Network. I think that those two concepts really need to be thought of together, because people will again complain on the one hand and then talk about how amazing things are on the left hand. And again, the world is not a terrible place, man. The state of the world right now is the best state that the world has ever been in. Like the history of humanity is pretty grim, drudgy, apocalyptic, like this fantasy that there was Lemuria and Mirror and Atlantis and everything was just rainbows and roses, before evil capitalism came along and there were steam engines is nonsense, dude. It's nonsense. People live longer than they've ever lived before. People have greater access to anything that they've ever had before. People are able to experience the world in a way that they've never experienced before. Technology improves lives. If technology is harming your life, then all you need to work on is your discipline as far as your technological abstinence. So, for example, turn your phones off for you to go to bed. Spend time with your family instead of spending time with your phone. It's all stuff that we do in my household. Technology does not harm our family. Like our entire family is close. We talk, we communicate. When we talk face to face. We don't text each other if we're sitting right next to each other. When we sit at the dinner table, we don't have our phones out. We set aside family time. That's all just stuff that you need to do. People who let technology run rampant across their lives are people who are not taking responsibility for their family in the first place, in general. All right. So, carrying right on with that as we move into the last half of the show, guys. For a professional trader, it is absolutely essential that I have full control over all of my positions. Platforms like Binance, Coinbase Pro, and Bittrex, although amazing in their own rights because the opportunities they offer us as traders, do lack essential features that any serious trader absolutely needs. Whether that is setting a take profit and a stop loss simultaneously, the infamous plague of Binance, or that that's setting a trailing stop loss or trailing take profit, which is a very helpful feature to help maximize our profit potential, especially if a cryptocurrency goes zoop and you want to catch that movement, which is very hard to do unless you have a trail feature available to you, or automating trading view alerts if you have a fantastic system like PTP, so that this platform will automatically trade for you. Now, regardless, if we want to maximize our returns in the market, it is essential that we have access to more advanced features if we want to be a serious trader. The platform that I use to supply me with those advanced order features is 3 Commas. 3 Commas is the industry leader for providing cryptocurrency traders advanced order features, regardless of the platform that you want to trade on. They support just about every exchange that you could possibly think of, and they are a fantastic tool. They also have some cool bots on there. I don't mess with those, but they're pretty neat. If you guys would like to try out 3 Commas, using our link will not only provide you with a free trial, but also give you 10% off of your purchase price. You can check that out today at 3commas.krakencryptocurrency.com. That's 3commas.krakencryptocurrency.com. All right, guys. Now, we're going to move into the last half of the show here. And if you guys have any chart requests that you guys would like us to look at, we will look at those charts. We will also engage with the chat, and we're just going to have some fun. So we're going to throw the tunes on. I'm going to pull the chat back over here. Let's see here. All right, music, check. Cryptocurrency charts, check. You don't have to do KYC AML on ByBit, Mark. All right, we've got Verge, Bitcoin on the 12-hour from Texas Blues. Hope you're doing absolutely awesome, man. We've got ONT USDT from YUI. BAT USDT from Daren Gerrish. Excuse me. Dutch crypto overview. Can you check out NLG? One of the 2 national cryptocurrencies. Sure, man. Put some Barry White on, turn down the lights. Would I trade Ethereum on its own or just assume it will follow Bitcoin? I'm bearish on Ethereum, but again, I trade all assets on their own because the chart is going to be different depending on your exchange. BitMEX trades. Does ByBit need a VPN? If you are in certain countries, yes. If that is how you want to access ByBit. Same with BitMEX. But again, we recommend using a VPN no matter what you do. Again, we need to bring that back because we do support Windscribe VPN. They are very supportive of the cryptocurrency community. They got an awesome Discord too, by the way, guys. If you guys want to check out Windscribe, you can use our link, windscribe.krakencryptocurrency.com. They actually allow you to try Windscribe for free. They give you some bandwidth every month, but using our link saves you some money off of their professional version, which I highly recommend. I always have it running. I got it running right now. Yep, every pair, dear Crypto Maisto. Every single pair, brother. Ren BTC. Yeah, we're pretty much done with Ren. I'm pretty sure we hit all our take profits. Holding Ren for a few days. Popped off last night. Last couple days, actually. Yeah, Ren got closed out, man. That's actually, if we go back over here to, here you go, Ren right here. Got into Ren on the 27th, fully closed down on the 30th, pulled about 23% on that one. But we'll go give it a look-see. Winscribe, 40% discount for students, just for your information. Thank you, man. Ren BTC for YUI. This, 1 second, man. Midwest Attempts, air swap token. Dylan Seyden, hey, thanks so much for joining us over there on YouTube, my good man. And Lumens to the Tether. Ardeu, Neia. This song is it's called Spring Color. I don't have an artist. It's just called Spring Color. Have I taken a look at Link BTC? I have not, man, but I would love to for you, brother. Link was some of our biggest winners in. Thank you, Bob, man. I hope you're doing good, brother. Gambling Robert, man. Thank you so much, brother, for joining us over there on the Twitch. Oh, that's breakingbitcoin.money. That's too long. It's breakingbitcoin.money, Scott. What are you doing? Ron says, if I got my therapist license, you could use your insurance to pay for it, the premium group. Oh, man. You know, I am looking into, because we do it a lot, man. I guess something that we should probably look into is there's like certifications for it. I don't even know if it means anything, but like certified lifestyle coach. Listen, guys, I'm not a perfect person. I have struggled with my own issues, addictions, relationships. I am far, far, far from a perfect person. But I have taken responsibility for my life. I've been on the path of self-improvement for a little over a decade now. And I really, really enjoy the life that I live in. I really enjoy the situation that I've created for myself, the relationship that I have with my family. You know, the fact that I feel proud that my daughter looks up to me. I feel very blessed and humble that I can help people out, improve their trading strategy. You know, the trading group is really something special to me because it's me and my group and my analysts teaching people how to succeed in the market. But something happened that I didn't expect. And that is, you know, the overwhelming just positivity the group had in the lives of most people that join. You know, I get emails and DMs from guys in the group, and they say that this has improved their life. You know, that they feel better about themselves. They're not just constantly watching the charts. They're not constantly watching the markets. They feel like they're a confident trader. You know, they were, you know, some were depressed or even freaking suicidal during the 2018 bear market. Some invested a lot of money, and you know, one of our I remember one of our lifetime members. You know, he had lost a lot. And now he's back to where he started. He's back to where he started by calm, patient, methodical trading. And I mean, what does that mean for that man's family, for that man's life? And when he expresses that to me when we talk, it's very humbling. I'm just really proud that I can come here every day and do what I do, man. I'm very grateful to you guys. Okay. Let's get into these requests, man. Texas Blues, Verge, Bitcoin on the 12 hour. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. Don't cry. Moving on. I'm not going to lie. Terminator 2. Terminator 2 when, Thank you, man. Highly appreciate that, user. And what the fact, of course, man. Highly appreciate it, man. All right, TradingView. I just need you to, I need you to channel the energy, man. I just need you to load for me here. Need you to load for me here, man. Come on, baby. I've got Colligan coming in an hour to install the reverse osmosis. Come on, man. We don't got time for this. Okay. There we go. And we are operational. Version on the 12-hour is interesting. This is a long, brother. This is a long, man. No, I got you, man. What was the previous song? This is, I think we just switched over. Paul, this is, if this song that's playing right now, man. That's the name of the song that's playing right now. Cosby. The previous song was Magnofield, Need to Run. There you go. Those are the names of the last two songs. Okay, so Verge on the 12 hours. So this isn't long, and this is something that that we've talked about a little bit in one of the VIP Ask Me Anythings. But let's break this down, because you have the long signal here on Minx, okay, at the candle close, right? So at 0000 UTC, right? So that's actually like at the previous at the previous one, right? At the previous candle close for the 12-hour chart, and we do have this 12-hour closing at the end of the night, right? At the end of the night. So this is a valid long signal. Why? Because we have everything telling us to go to the upside. We get the primary signal here, but we're just below the baseline. So now that we're closing above the baseline, you can take this trade, especially because, and you need WADA to confirm, and WADA is confirming. This is a good trade, man. Verge to the upside. Again, doesn't mean that it's going to pay off, because again, any individual trade doesn't have a higher probability of winning or losing, regardless of the analysis. But overall, the statistics would point to this being a profitable trade. Thank you, Midwest Attempts, man. Highly appreciate it, man. And I enjoy having you in there. Okay. So the only thing, again, looking at discretionary position sizing. Actually, no, it's okay. Look at volume oscillator. Volume oscillator confirmed a trade as well. If we can see there, volume oscillator pokes its little baby turtle head above the 0 line. So this is good, man. There's not even really a reason for discretionary position sizing. This is good. This looks good. Where are we looking at? 80, 86, 91. Best of luck, man. See if... Okay. I'll try to get these, brother. Paul, thank you, man. I hope that and you know what, Paul? That t-shirt looks fantastic on you, by the way. Let's go to BAT USDT from Daren Gerrish, man. All right, so BAT throwing up a long signal, man. This looks pretty good, dude. Basic attention token on the daily. We are getting that long signal. We have good volume. Volume oscillator confirming. Wadatar explosion confirming. Long signal. You know, you could apply some discretionary position sizing because the primary baseline is below the secondary baseline. And this does, I'm going to say just subjectively, this does kind of look like a danger zone because look, you know, bump. So, you know, you do want to protect yourself, but I mean, this looks good, man. This is a signal. This is a long signal to the upside on the close of today's candle. BAT USDT, man, looks good. Looking at, I'd say 0.37, 0.4, 0.43, 0.44. Round them up a little bit. BAT looks good, man. BAT looks good. It came down about to the lows right here. You got this kind of this triple low, and you actually got 3 higher lows. That's actually pretty good. You could view this as a huge, you know, again, you guys know that we don't care for patterns here, regardless of how well Da Vinci does them, and Da Vinci does them very well. I guess that doesn't really compute, does it? That'd be a false break. That's all right. You get those. I mean, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? I mean, if you were a pattern trader, I mean, that looks like a, what do you want to call that? A falling waffle griddle? Like a falling pancake flipper? Something like that. That's a fried egg pattern. Yeah, that's what it is. But no, you've got consecutive lower highs and you've got consecutive higher lows. All right, so that's a symmetrical pattern. Symmetrical patterns typically respect the previous dominant trend. And as we can see, overall prices moving to the upside. We would expect this to continue to the upside, right? We expect this to be bullish. And as you can see, we have a false break and then a big buy up. So either this is a false dump to lure retail traders to sell off, because these patterns are painted by whales and market movers. Keep that in mind. That's why we don't trade them, because we don't do what they want us to do. We do what we want to do. So price moves to the upside, and we're looking for the breakout. So there's two potentials here. This move to the downside was fabricated as a break of this trend line to lure retail traders into selling, to provide liquidity for buyers to buy in at a cheap price and move price to the upside, which it seems is happening. And now retail buyers are going to buy in as soon as we break to the upside of this retail pattern, and you would expect the herding process to continue moving this up quite a bit. Again, measured move or Fibonacci extension, or however you want to do it, doesn't really matter. It wouldn't be any more accurate than anything else. I mean, literally, it would be just as accurate if you just did this. I think price is going to go here. So that's good. Or you can view it the other way. And this is why I don't like pattern trading, because you could just sit here and like mentally masturbate for hours and say, well, price could do this, price could do that, based on like this thing and this thing and this thing. That's why I like indicators. It's binary. So you either take a trade or you don't. And if you have a system that generates consistent profits over time, then why do anything different? XRP, Bitcoin's gonna blow. It's been blowing Bitcoin for about a year now. Ba-dum. What are you doing, Justin? Family-friendly show. Okay, so moving on. Looks good, man. I like it. It's a trade. Oops. Well, whatever. Just cut and paste it. It's all good. All good in the hood. NLG. NAM Long Investment Corporation. Oh, Golden. Sorry, yeah. NLG to Bitcoin on Bittrex. Gotcha. Thanks, Christian. Much appreciated. Let's see what I thought of this last time. What do you guys think? Did we nail it? All right, let's move down here, man. Look at that bad boy right there. It's about a 200% pump in a couple minutes. What's the volume on this thing? Thank you so much, 2x Gee. Highly appreciated, my good friend. Thanks for joining us over there on YouTube. Yikes. Only 15 grand in volume. No wonder when you pour 150 grand into it, it goes up 200%. June 27th. Crazy. It's almost like when you pour in 9 times the regular market cap, price might move quite volatilely. Anyways. It was accumulation. Oh, here we go. So this is Bitcoin, but I just want to point out this is a real live example. This is live footage. This is this. Yes, I do have some drawings. Those are old. This is a live example of Ripple's support right here. This is live. This is coming live from the exchanges. Ripple support. I want to thank Mr. Zeus over there on the tweet for providing me that funny joke. But this is he's talking about 10K support, but I think it's Ripple support. All right, and again, yes, quite bearish, man. Bro, can you please look at ETHUSD and tell me your thoughts so I can build my next move? I'm short, man. If you go back to what's the timestamp on today's video? Just go back to 28:48, man. 28 minutes and 48 seconds. And I tell you exactly what I'm going to do with Ethereum. I think I even talk about price targets. Aw, Jake, why didn't I think of that, man? Well, yeah, dude, just quantum indicators, and we'll just be long and short simultaneously in different universes, bro. At the same time, but no time. In all times, but still, kinda like no time. At the same time. In the quantum realm. Like Ant-Man, yeah, dude. All right, so I can't wait, guys. I'm gonna get a Go XLR so I can do some voice modulation. Just be fun. That way, I don't have to actually change my voice to do the podcasting thing in a world. And just kind of like press a button because whatever. Not lazy about a lot of things, but maybe on that. Anyways, getting back to Golden, man. Sorry, bro. Okay, so getting back to Golden, obviously we have this huge move to the upside, and a lot of people would say, well, look, man, whenever you see something like that, that was clearly a pump and dump, so you just cannot in no way, shape, or form should you, buy this, because there's going to be sellers at literally every price level, don't you know, and above every high, and they are just going to cram your little baby Bitcoin baby buying face down into the concrete, and we don't trade like that, because when things are bullish, we buy, and when things are bearish, we sell. We are trend following traders. So if we take a look at what price has been doing, obviously Golden's been moving to the downside for quite a long time. This is in no way, shape, or form a bullish asset, but we trade based off the daily baseline. We have here's another great example of the exponential moving average crossover, the baseline cross under acting as a predominant indicator for which direction the trend is going to continue into. As you can see back here on the 28th of March, we have, after a little bit of bullishness, look at this, a little bit of bullishness. Somebody might even be thinking at this point in time, and here we have a buy signal, and you catch all this. And you catch all this. But then once this happens, once you actually have that baseline cross under, that is the signal to be like, nope, no, until you get a nice close above the baseline. And as you can see, we don't get any closes above the baseline that generate a signal, right? So here's, as you can see, Minx doesn't signal anything. Mata isn't confirming anything for us to take because there's no primary signal. So, I mean, literally, there's no long for us to take. No false signals at all generated by our system on this entire movement to the downside. We just literally absolutely ignore this asset. Now, are we able to catch this? Of course not. There's like 7 people who are able to catch this and make money off of this. If price closes above the baseline, I'd say we're starting to kind of look good. As you can see, Minx is crossing into static on the underside, which is a good sign to see. Minx does need to cross above the 0 line, and then we can take a long signal. And price is marching its way up to the baseline. So again, I'm going to remain with a bias that this looks like failure, but could be all right. As you can see, we can see Wada turn bullish down here. Could have been okay, but it wasn't. Thank God. Kept us out of the market. And we see Wada turning bullish down here. So again, it could start to be good, but we'll just wait for our primary indicator, and we'll wait for the close above the baseline, and then we'll take a position. What's gold's firm support? It's selling off because of the big run up like BTC. So gold is at, ZAO USD. GLD commods are kind of pulling down. They're far away from support. ZAO USD actually is right at support. So you kind of, like I said earlier when I went over ZAO, and what is the timestamp for that? You can just hop back to I start doing traditional markets at 47 minutes and 53 seconds, and pretty soon into that is Zag, Platinum, Palladium. You know, you're at this turning point where I'm bullish on gold, but if it closes below the baseline, then I'm bearish. So, will Bitcoin's price go up soon? I just bought. If you just bought, that probably means price is going down, man. So yeah, no movement, nothing to do here on golden right now, man. I don't believe so. But keep your eye on it, because again, it's kind of coming to that market cycle where it could be good, but we need to close above the baseline. We need Minx to get its ass above the zero line, and then we can start talking about positions. AST BTC. Air swap to the token. Air swap to the token might be okay. I don't think that Minx is not going to generate a signal today. So again, as you guys know, sometimes we miss out, but we don't miss out that much. So let's see here. Man, AST is real volatile, man. You get a lot of fuck you wicks on air swap token, man. This is a pump and dumper. As much as I like the idea of air swap token. Crypto Bobby must be rolling over in his grave to see all these wicks on his coin. Anyways, would I buy right now? No, I'm short, brother. Hey, no problem, Dutch Crypto Overview. I don't know if you've noticed, but we are here every day. I would not buy Bitcoin right now. I will buy Bitcoin if it goes back above the baseline. Sorry. It's not a Moscow mule. Andy Wen, thank you so much for the sub over there on YouTube, my good friend. I kind of like the look of AirSwap token. Minx is lagging behind a little bit. And also Wadatar isn't generating a primary signal. But because we have a falling explosion level. So let's keep our eye on AirSwap token. It's had a nice little retracement back to the baseline. Always want to be cautious when we are hitting the baseline and appearing to close above, i.e. A, before the candle closes, and B, before we actually have confirmation from our indicators, because they are there to keep us from doing something stupid. And, you know, AST might be one. Just looking back, you know, Minx does not seem to give the greatest signals on AST. I mean, this is a real, you know, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Whipsaw coin. So you might want to optimize the settings and see what works better if you're directly trading AST. There's nothing wrong with optimizing for the particular asset. Because just looking at this, it seems like, I mean, you do have good trades, you know, here and here, but you get chopped up here, you know. Well, you know, honestly, you had take profit one on that. You have a loser there. I guess it's not too bad, really. And, you know, you get in here and you hit take profit in 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, so that's actually pretty good, man. JB Gaming 1 and Clayton C, guys, thank you so much for joining the community over there on YouTube, brother. Is Ken dead? Rendo, hey, man, thanks so much for joining us, brother. I'm looking forward to trading with you. We will be getting a hold of you right after the show, man. Okay, let's see here. AST done. Oh, I missed the timestamp. Darn. Oh well. All right, stellar lumens to the oozed. Stellar lumens to the oozed. Yes, honey, I am. No bueno, my good friend. Stellar lumens to the ooze. It looks so really, really bad. We have, you know, price below. Let's get rid of Quadrigo. Sorry, that's confusing for a lot of people who aren't used to seeing it every day. You know, we have price closing below the baseline. We have that same baseline cross under. Again, if we go back and see when the baseline's crossed up, we have a okay market cycle. Overall chop. It was a little bit slow, but again, we got the primary buy signal from Lumens USDT right here. Took this trade, actually. Took Lumens to the upside. And, you know, we've got some decent signals. You know, like here's a profitable trade. I think we had take profit in 1. There's a bad signal. That's all right. There's a good signal at take profit 1. There's a bad signal. And it's keeping us out of the market, man. Keep us out of the market. Wadatar is bearish. We're below the baseline. Minx is bearish. No trade here, man. No trade here. And Stinky Linky. Looking at its SAT value. Link continues to be good, man. I'm out of this trade. I'm out of Link. My trailing take profit, again, I entered Link on the 27th, as did everybody in the group, issued that signal. And price moved up. Price hit my trailing take profit, which I had a value of 3%. It's actually, no, 3.5%. And so got stopped out on the last little bit of my position right around up here, because caught this big wick to the upside. And there's nothing to do, man. No reentry signal. In fact, Minx is now crossing into the static territory. Now, we're not actually listening to that because it's a primary signal and we want to let the winner run. But we're waiting for RVGI to cross under. But RVGI is going to take quite a while to cross under. Jay Lopez says, can you please tell us how much percentage-wise we have cropped up in Bitcoin since the June drop? Sure. So from the all-time high, from the recent swing high, Bitcoin is down about 26%. About 26%. So if you bought Bitcoin here, you just lost 0.25% of your value. Smoked. Yeesh. Love it, man. I love this song. And, potentially more in store, man. Hey, no problem, guys. Thank you guys so much. So listen, guys, it's 1:55. So before we sign off here, as we said earlier, I think it's very, very important as supporters of cryptocurrency, as influencers in this space, we do take privacy extremely seriously and security, and we don't think that anybody should be exposing themselves to undue risk. I commonly talk about security methods to take when trading on exchanges. You should have a separate email account for each cryptocurrency exchange that you trade on, a separate email account, and each account, both your email account and the associated exchange account, should have two-factor authentication on it. If you're doing anything less, you are not being responsible about your cryptocurrency funds. Cryptocurrency is in your hands. That's what's liberating about it. That's what's freeing about it. That's why it's going to change the world. But you do have to take a higher level of responsibility because it's not a broker and it's not a bank that is accountable to you. You are accountable to your cryptocurrency holdings. So you do not want to be leaking your personal data around on the internet. So if you want to take your digital privacy seriously, if you want to be secure in the best way in what you can do, I recommend using a VPN at all times. I run Windscribe. That is the VPN that I trust, that I use, and that I recommend. They are very supportive of cryptocurrency. They are very supportive of the community. You can pay them in cryptocurrency. You can also set up an anonymous account. They need none of your information. They don't store any of your data. They allow you to test them out for free. You can actually use a little bit of bandwidth each month for free, but I highly recommend you grab up their premium because it is well worth the money and allows you to run it 24/7, as I always do. I trade on a dedicated computer that is always behind a VPN, and I do not do anything else on that computer except for trade. If you guys would like to check out Windscribe and support a company that supports cryptocurrency, then of course you can check out Windscribe.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's Windscribe.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Tell them Justin sent you, and they might smile at you. They might smile at you. I don't know. Not sure what they'll do. Anyways, moving on. Thank you guys for joining us for another fantastic episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I've been Justin Wise, your host for today's show, lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. I hope you guys go on to have a fantastic day. I want to thank you all who are watching across YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, and of course on Roku at the Investor News channel for joining us for your afternoon or your evening or your morning, wherever you happen to be tuning in from. If you would like to join us in the premium trading group, if you would like to have access to our proprietary signals and setups, our proprietary indicators, our strategies, our Pathways to Profit strategy course, our professional mentors, our analysts, as well as our private Discord community for support, growth, and encouragement. You can, of course, join us at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll try to get back to you within 48 hours. And before we go, if you enjoy the show, but you are not often able to catch it live, and you wish that you could, you don't have to rewatch us just on YouTube. You can go over to breakingbitcoin.money. That's breakingbitcoin.money. And add us to your favorite podcast catcher. We are live on iTunes, Google Play Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Podbean, with many, many more to come as our official Breaking Bitcoin podcast. You can just search for us on your favorite podcast catcher or add the RSS feed manually, again, at breakingbitcoin.money. Highly appreciated if any of you guys would go over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review, because it does help us get this information out to individuals who I think need it the most. Again, the reason we started this company is so that people don't make the same mistake in this bull market that they made in the last bull market. So head on over, give us some support, and add us to your favorite podcast catcher. All right, guys, I've been Justin Wise. This has been Cracking Cryptocurrency's Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Make sure that you guys trade safely, and I will catch you all in the next one.